Yo, fine scouts and intrepid internet travelers, welcome to my channel. I'm Josh, your binge buffoon, if you will have me. Today, I'm going to be watching the second episode of HBO's definitive adaptation of The Last of Us, which has officially been renewed for a second season. A bittersweet triumph for all of us who have played the second installment in Naughty Dog's video game franchise. If you don't know what that means, or I mean by that, you will someday, and I pity you. Last week, on The Last of Us, we bid farewell to Anna Torv's Tess. And it was worse than the game, as she bid farewell to a man who couldn't necessarily love her the way she wanted him to. Tess begged Joel to follow through and deliver Ellie to the Fireflies. Some way, somehow, because Ellie is real. Then, as the Capitol building was stormed by a bunch of infected, the infected Tess lit Sam Drake's lighter. So thank you, social media, for pointing that out to me. Yet another Easter egg for video game lovers in this series. But before the Capitol blew up, she made out with a stalker who essentially welcomed her into the community. I'm sure that moment infuriated a lot of fans who just wanted to see Joel and Tess consummate their relationship, but we didn't get any penetration. Shouldn't have used the word penetration just then. That sounds really grotesque. We didn't get to see them hook up or kiss or anything. We got that instead. It's kind of beautiful how infuriating that is. Me personally, I don't mind not seeing any PDA from Joel and Tess. I think the implicit nature of their relationship is much more charming than anything we could have seen explicitly. But that's not to say we won't see them kiss at some point. The preview for this latest episode seemed to imply that there's going to be a non-linear structure to this series. What I mean by that is we know we're going to get backstory concerning Bill and Frank, and then their relationship with Joel. That's going to be established before the events of last week's episode. So naturally, Bill and Frank are going to have a much larger role in this series, not only because Nick Offerman's playing Bill, and they wouldn't have hired him just to be in one episode, I don't think, but because Tess mentioned at the end of the last episode that she wants Joel to convince Bill and Frank to take Ellie to the Fireflies. For those not familiar with the games, that's a pretty big deviation, and I'm curious to see how that will affect Tommy's storyline. If you know what I mean when I say that, well, you know. If you don't, whatever. But I think there's going to be some swapping there in regards to narrative, but nothing too major. Obviously, there's a lot of subtle changes in this series that all service the story in its new format. As for Joel and Ellie, they're different, but the same. Something I've said many times. Ellie's a bit more abrasive and bratty. Joel's a lot softer. Joel's a cuck. Not really. Just a little bit sadder. And I think that's just a result of what Pedro was deciding to do with the role, and that's fine. Actors shouldn't feel constrained by previous depictions. They should do what feels natural to them when adapting a character wearing their skin. I mean that figuratively, not in a Hannibal Lecter sort of way. Besides, I'm down with teenage angst. In regards to Ellie, as long as it's not overdone in the coming episodes. And Bella Ramsey's just killing it in general. So anything I think she does wrong at this point will be a result of direction and writing choices. It won't be a result of her performance itself. I will be bummed if this week's episode is just a flashback episode that doesn't feature Ellie, because I want more time with her and Joel. I suspect we're going to get an episode devoted entirely to Bill and Frank, and them meeting Joel, probably. Maybe that's this episode. I kind of hope not. But that's just me being impatient and anxious and wanting to see more of what I expect from this series. Not what I don't expect. If that makes sense. Right. Reaction channel, let's ride the coattails of other people's art. Before we get into what may be an incredibly divisive reaction to episode 3, just wanted to say, well, Annie Wershing died Sunday when I was recording this reaction, and I didn't know at the time, but she voiced Tess in the game, obviously. So yeah, all my love to her family. And I just wanted everyone to know that. People, I'm sure most of you do, but anyone who doesn't. So yeah, R.I.P. Annie. Oh, it's Joel's hand, so we are picking up with them, right? Still has that hairline fracture. Unless this is misdirection. No, it's Joel. Watch and all. His watch is broken, yeah. Oh, he's burying Tess. Is that what this is? No. Obviously, the body is... This is his way of... Yeah. Is that what the stacking... 10 miles west of Boston. Yeah. Oh, she's... using his jacket as a blanket of sorts? Interesting. He's already being fatherly. Okay, I want to hear what he says. No, he doesn't want it back.
I've never been in the woods.
It's true.
More bugs than I thought.
I'm not a big camper myself, but I pretend to be when I'm with tough people.
I was going to say that I've been thinking about what happened. Nobody made you or Tess take me.
Oh, he does kind of blame her.
So don't blame me for something that isn't my fault.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Rationalize the situation for sure. Another reason these characters will inevitably continue to feel different is the actors have to play off of each other, right? Which means they have to incorporate their real life dynamic. They have to incorporate how they would talk to each other in actual conversations. That's the only way it's going to feel organic. The subtleties of that, at least.
People.
Are Bill and Frank nice?
Frank is.
Where'd you get that scar?
Yeah, Bill's a little crazy.
Someone shot at me and missed.
Oh, wow.
See, that's cool. Shoot back?
Yeah.
You get him?
Fucking A, dude.
No, I missed
Oh,
too.
damn. Okay.
Because you
Fair enough.
suck at shooting, or like in general?
In general.
Yeah.
You know, seeing as it's just the two of us, I was thinking I should
No gun, Ellie. Not yet.
We had supplies en route. We found ourselves short on gear, which I currently am, because...
No way. There's this one character named Melina who takes off her mask and she has monster teeth and then she swallows you whole and barfs out your bones.
That's a lot. Yeah, I don't know in what order these episodes were filmed, but Bella Ramsey feels, or at least seems, even more comfortable in the role now.
Yeah.
So you can jump down there, I suppose, but it doesn't seem like a good idea, Ellie. Really likes to put herself at risk. Yo. Look at the arm strength on Ellie.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, really? This is interesting. I mean, I guess she would be having periods. It makes sense that there was an infected down here. Wow. Look at the mushrooms just growing out of his head. I don't know if I'd be this curious, but maybe. I'm trying to relate to her right now. Dude. Oh, that was so... She just went from, you know, extremely intrigued to just hatred.
Ellie?
There's a lot to pick apart there.
Picked over my ass.
The only thing down there was tampons. Just one box of tampons for her. I mean, I get it. We should get to see more of Ellie having to deal with being a woman or becoming a woman. Like, oh, this still was released, you know, long before the show was. This was the first still we got of them from behind. But that felt like it was written just to emphasize, yeah, Ellie's a woman and we're going to address the fact that she is a girl becoming a woman. We're going to address that. Sorry, apologies to everyone. I kind of missed that interaction about the plane.
No one's infected with cordyceps. Everybody's fine, eating in restaurants and flying in planes.
Yeah, but the eating, that was the key, right? Oh.
The first person. Was it a monkey? I bet it was a monkey.
It wasn't a monkey. I thought you went to school.
Fedra school, teaches how their shitty government
Fucked up,
can
yeah.
prevent a pandemic.
Some of it got into the food supply. Probably a basic ingredient like flour or sugar.
Right.
Bread, cereal.
Pancake mix. Reminds him of his birthday.
Friday night, September 26, 2003.
A day he will never forget. My birthday. His birthday, you know.
It makes more sense than monkeys.
It definitely makes more sense than monkeys. So chill the fuck out, Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys. Or Bruce Willis, sorry. Both of them need to chill out in that movie. Brad Pitt was actually nominated for Best Supporting Actor Oscar for that movie, actually. She's already charming him a little bit. Yeah. Sort of lets the reality of their conversation sink in.
Told you you were going to a QZ and you were.
Oh boy.
If there was room.
Oh fuck.
If there wasn't.
You're done.
Why not just leave him be?
Dead people can't be infected.
Right. I was gonna say, because they could become a problem later. Up, flashback. Oh, so are we gonna get to see Bill and Frank during the outbreak? Yup. Wow, yes. Yeah. Oh, here he is. He seems very paranoid. What does he do for a living? You know, I always assumed that Bill was probably a doomsday prepper before.
You new world.
And it became more than a self-fulfilling prophecy for him. Yeah, he is a prepper. God, I mean, I feel like the point is for him to look ridiculous, but so he's kind of happy that everyone's gone. Is he going fishing? It's great. It's perfect casting. Ron Swanson. Yeah, Ron Swanson as Bill is perfect casting. Because Ron Swanson would love that everyone's gone. And he's just a badass generator. Like, that's a fucking generator, dude. And he's gonna make this little town his bitch. His. He's the mayor of Whoville, you know, and there's no Who's. This is kind of exactly how I imagined Bill's backstory, as I'm sure you did too. That looks like that looks delicious.
Oh.
Those tripwires caused
It doesn't get old.
so many people so many problems. By people, I mean us. God damn it, Bill! Where was my last save? 4 years. Don't tread on me, of course. Does that mean he was a Marine? I don't know. Even though you don't have to be Marine to sport that flag, obviously. Or to hoist those colors, but...
I'm not infected.
This is Frank.
Baltimore QZ. It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone? Overrun?
How'd you get that?
Yeah, how did he get that? Did he kill a soldier? Maybe a soldier tripped one of his wires. People have surely tried to bother him.
Haven't eaten in 2 days.
Wow.
Doesn't sound very long out loud, does it?
No, and this seems very ballsy to be like,
I'm letting you
yeah,
go, so go.
right, I'd fucking go, but...
If I feed you, then every bum you talk to about it is going to show up here looking for a free lunch.
Right.
And this is not an Arby's.
Arby's didn't have free lunch. It was a restaurant.
Beside the point, dude.
talk about it to any bums or hobos or vagabonds, I promise.
Well, nowhere had free lunches. Food, soup kitchens, places you work in the service industry, the restaurant business. Or maybe if you download the right app. But there was no apps in 2003. That was easy. Kinda. That was almost, to be fair, that was almost too easy for someone as paranoid as Bill. But maybe it's an attraction thing. Not to skip ahead in the narrative. Huh. Some beautiful notes there. Where are these playing right now? The dust. It implies no one's been here and he hasn't had to open a bottle of wine or anything like that in quite some time. Or he hasn't, you know, hosted. That would be pretty dank. If you're in a post-apocalyptic world and you're just all of a sudden getting a home-cooked meal like this. Fuck, man, I'd put out.
What the fuck?
Right.
Everything tastes good when you're starving.
Yeah, but not like this. A man who knows to pair rabbit with a Beaujolais.
I know I don't seem like the type.
No, you do.
There was a lot in there. That exchange just now. There's a lot of subtext. A lot of subtext. Basically, he's like, I know I don't seem gay, but I am.
There is more.
No, I can't. I want to. Believe me.
It would be, also it'd be, you can't be gluttonous in this world, come on. That's for before, that's how we fuck everything up.
So I guess I'll be going then.
Bill was so happy to be alone, and now he seems really happy to have someone else.
You know how much these are worth?
Currently nothing.
Yeah, there's no, yeah.
Oh, for these Tales of Hoffman, yuck.
But that's real quick. Even people who think they're recluse, I think our pandemic, proved that to a lot of people. Eventually, they will feel lonely. Humans need other humans. Otherwise, you lose sight of your humanity.
No, sir. No, thank you. Sorry. Not this.
Oh, is Bill gonna be really good? He seems like a well-read, articulate connoisseur of all things, an eclectic individual. Yeah, here we go. What if flashback, all of a sudden it's gonna cut to Bill in a suit back in the day performing for people, or tuxedo.
Take things in stride. So, and I think I'm gonna love you for a long, long time.
You know, I'm not the first person. This is a beautiful moment. I'm not the first person to say this, but music is such an essential part of The Last of Us. The musical moments between characters, the soundtrack itself, and this was just as beautiful as anything we saw in the game.
So, who's the girl?
There is no girl.
Right.
I know.
Jadar. This feels so... I feel how uncomfortable he is, but like also not.
What's your name?
Bill.
Good for you, Bill. Obviously a beautiful moment, but real quick, in the game, their relationship is implied. More than implied. But so was Tess and Joel's. If we're going to get this with them, shouldn't we get more of Tess and Joel?
Have you ever done this before?
With a girl a long time.
Holy shit. He's never...
Oh, fuck you! Come on!
Well, the honeymoon's over.
this world. You live in a psycho bunker where 9/11 was an inside job.
Well,
The government are all Nazis!
Well, yeah, now, but not then. Paying attention to things. It's how we show love.
that's true.
This is my street too, but we are going to have friends. And we will invite them to visit.
How are you gonna
We will
make
never
friends?
Have friends, because there are no friends to be had.
I've actually been talking to a nice woman on the radio.
Uh-oh.
You what?
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck? Oh no, is it Tess? And Joel? A double date? With these two?
What can I just say?
Oh, he's
I'm
pointing the
on
gun at
side, which
Joel.
I get, by the way. How nice this is to have a civilized meal in such a beautiful...
Look at Tess. Look at Tess. Just looking good. She's my dearest Tess now. Fuck, I forget the time line now. But Joel definitely looks younger. They both look younger. So they've known Bill and Frank for a while. Oh, now Joel and Bill are gonna bond.
If mine brought strangers into our situation, I wouldn't be happy either.
Right, right, yeah, right. They're gonna bond over being
People just trying to get by.
Oh,
decent people.
well, aren't I the lucky?
He's labeling himself as a decent person at this point?
We can help each other and get that gun out of my face.
Yeah. This is Joel fucking Miller. Bill's gonna respect him and then be like, hey, if you ever want to switch teams, I know how to do it now.
Prepper or something?
Yeah.
Survival.
The survivalist, yeah.
I don't need you or your friend complicating our lives.
That fence has got a year on it. Tops. I can get you 10 spools of high tensile aluminum. Last you the rest of your life.
Yeah. Open up lines of trade.
Lives.
I didn't realize how good they were at aging up. Or I guess it didn't really resonate with me how good they were at aging up Pedro Pascal and Anna Torv until this episode.
But sooner or later, there'll be raiders.
Surprised there hasn't been already.
They'll beat that fence and your tripwires. They'll come at night, quiet and armed.
We'll be fine.
Interesting how Tess is like the good cop and Joel's like the stern, straight to business cop. I don't think you'll be fine, Bill. Based upon the music, the ominous music. Oh, man.
I traded Joel and Tess one of your guns for a packet of seeds.
He's not going to be happy
Which
about
gun?
that. Yeah. Which gun?
A little one.
Yeah, it's just...
For what?
Getting older faster than you.
I like you older. Older means we're still here.
True.
I was never afraid before you showed up.
Yeah, because now you feel like you have something to lose. It was important to show him opening up to someone and feeling the resistance and the uncomfort at first. But I still would have been nice to get some moments like this between Joel and Tess, but then having Joel be like closed off, not open up the way that Bill is. Because you know that would have been the dynamic, right? Joel would have been down for the sex and stuff, but... Oh no. But Joel wouldn't have been eating strawberries. Oh, fuck. Well, they're gonna know at least. Holy fuck. And Bill and him are not together? Oh yeah, no. Bill's doing work. Joel was right.
I got you.
Holy shit.
For me?
Well, who's guarding, who's watching the perimeter?
Frank!
I'm right here.
Frank!
I'm right here.
Leave the gas on!
I'm right
Leave the gas on. The fence.
Yeah.
The fence will kill the rest of them. Yeah. Cole. Joel.
Because at the end of the first episode, Trouble. So this is the Trouble. With the radio and the 80s music.
He'll take care of you.
What's going on? What's going on? What the fuck? Bill's dead? Dude, what the fuck?
Getting cold. Okay. Let me bring you inside.
10 years later? Oh, okay. Oh. He just looks so fucking old. Just looks so much older than in the game if this is 2023. That's why I guess I was confused with the last segment in the timeline. Was he looked like I thought he was gonna look when he met up with Joel and Ellie. And I wasn't really doing the math when it kept flashing how many years. That's on me. I'm an English major. Arithmetic was never my strong suit. I can do it, I just choose not to most of the time. It was just me just being fucking scatterbrained, honestly.
Orangey.
It's interesting. Why is how did Frank's health decline so much? I'm kind of confused by this episode.
About it. Back in
I
bed.
promise you I'm gonna stay up.
Why?
Because this is my last day.
What if we find a doctor? What if someone shows up who can help?
Who's coming, Bill? The door-to-door MRI salesman?
Is this the trouble, then, that they alert Joel to?
I'm not going to give you the every day was a wonderful gift from God speech. I've had a lot of bad days.
The reality of all relationships.
More good days with you than with anyone
Right.
else.
It's the pros and the cons, right?
Just give me one more good day. We'll get married. And you cook a delicious dinner. Then you will crush all of these up, put them in my wine,
He's gonna refuse.
and I will fall asleep in your arms.
He's gonna refuse all this. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to do this.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Then love me the way I want you to.
This music, I've heard it before a bunch of times. For you guys. The same meal as the day they met. Their last meal is the same as their first. It's a beautiful bookend. It's the same bottle of wine, too. I'm still so, I guess, thrown. This is a huge departure from the game, obviously. For those who are familiar, I'm so kind of. Maybe it's on me for being thrown.
Will it be enough?
Yeah.
Or are there already pills in the bottle?
Get the fuck out of here.
Enough to kill a horse.
He's gonna die with them?
This isn't the tragic suicide at the end of the play.
I do not support this. But from an objective point of view, it's incredibly romantic.
Yeah, I guess it is, but I'm shocked. I don't know why I'm having trouble living in this right now. There's a part of me that feels like this is just Bill imagining the life they could have had while he's on the table or something? I don't know, but does this mean that Bill's never going to get to meet Ellie and that whole portion of the game just doesn't exist in the show? What is happening right now? And Joel's gonna find them? What is happening right now? I mean, I guess that there was a beautiful way to change Bill's story. Spoiler alert to people who haven't played the game. In the game, we meet Bill, and he's just funny, angry Bill. And then we find Frank hung himself later on. Jeez.
What the fuck?
Bill? Frank?
It's been a while. I hope. Oh. Yeah, I know what to explain.
To whomever, but probably Joel. Came with this.
Key to the truck?
Guessing you found this, Joel, because anyone else would have been electrocuted or blown up by one of my traps. Anyway, I never liked you, but still, it's like we're friends. Almost. I used to hate the world, and I was happy when everyone died, because there was one person.
Oh, wow.
That's why men like you and me are here.
Oh, God.
We have a job to do.
Oh, God.
And God help any motherfuckers who stand in our way.
Woohoo!
I leave you all of my weapons and equipment. Use them to keep...
I'm gonna say Tess. Keep Tess. Make a battery. She stayed exactly in that chair.
Listen, about Tess.
Don't ever talk to me about that ever again.
If I'm taking you with me, there's some rules you gotta follow. Rule 1, you don't bring up Tess.
Ever.
Ever.
These are line freaks from the game.
You don't tell anyone about your
Condition. What you say goes.
Holy
Shit.
shit. This guy was a genius.
Yeah, he was.
There's a wall of them.
Just give her a gun. No. I mean, don't. Not yet. Honestly, I don't know if I could have handled this episode ending with just Bill and Frank dying. That would have been tough for me. Also, I didn't live in that as much as I should have. Oh, she's gonna... Is she gonna... Is that how she gets a gun? But she's probably gonna use that, and it's gonna end up working to Joel's advantage. Don't forget to grab a nudie, Meg. I hope she's not going
It's your first time in a car?
It's like a spaceship.
No, it's like a piece of shit Chevy S10, but it'll get us
because
there.
Ellie likes space. Oh, he's gonna buckle up Ellie. Well, yeah. Yeah. Aww. As we leave these guys, I don't want to see them in bed. I don't want to see them in bed. I don't want to see them in bed. Please don't go all the way into the bedroom. Just do it the windowsill. The windowsill! A windowsill. Wow. You know, to be completely honest, I debated not uploading this, and probably for a very superficial, conceited reason. Because I'm looking at the internet and I'm seeing all these other YouTubers having this visibly emotional reaction. And I wish that I would have had the same sort of reaction. Because I think people tune into this sector of YouTube reaction channels to, well, experience things in a way that reflects their own experience. It makes this a nook of the platform communal because cinephiles, geeks, fans, nerds, whatever you want to call them, they have this place they can go to feel less alone in their passion and enthusiasm, if need be, if they don't have somewhere else to go. To be honest, that's what got me into reaction channels, because I don't have too many people in my life to talk to about movies and television shows. I mean, I live in the Midwest. Construction workers and everyone else I know is just like, dude, it's a show. That said, The Last of Us is so important to so many, including myself. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but these men, Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett, they deserve tears for this staggeringly beautiful performance of two men with contrasting yet compatible personalities. Instead, they got this buffoon who was distracted by his own expectations and worrying about a video game. So yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I've been preaching in my previous reactions about how I'm okay with this journey being different, and then I'm shocked and confused when this journey takes a serious pit stop. But that's the thing, I suppose. I didn't expect serious pit stops. I should have, maybe. A pit stop where characters are very fleshed out and then aren't going to appear in other episodes. We never meet Frank in the game. So I expected in the show we would meet Frank, Bill and his relationship would be established. Then Bill and Frank would become estranged because Frank wanted a life outside of surviving. Then Joel and Ellie would meet Bill, and then we would come across Frank's body later on. That's how I thought they'd do it. They'd give us all that context. I think for fans of the game, this episode exists to give Bill and Frank a life together from beginning to end. A happy ending for Bill. And for new viewers, it's this soul-crushing love story inside of this other story. And that's the thing, going into this episode, I was so worried about that other story, the main story with Joel and Ellie. And I've said this plenty of times now. Joel and Ellie's relationship needs to work in order for this show to work. And their relationship is still early days. There's a fuck ton of developing to do. And now there's only 6 episodes left. That's what was going through my mind when I was watching this, especially after Bill and Frank died, because now those characters don't carry over into coming episodes or into the plot. Thematically, they do. Like, if Bill and Frank were tasked with transporting Ellie, this episode would have made more sense to me as part of the larger story, because now we love them. And we don't even love Joel and Ellie yet, at least not in this show, if we're just looking at the show. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that I do. I do because of what I know about the game. So part of me was resisting this story because I didn't want to love them more than the main characters. And now we kind of do. That's also why I mentioned in my reaction that we should maybe see more of Joel and Tessa's relationship. Because if you're going to devote an entire episode to these two characters and their backstory, shouldn't those characters appear in more episodes when it's a 9-episode season trying to tell what I believe to be a complete story? Forget part 2. Forget the game and stuff. I think this is a great piece on its own, this first season, if it's adapting the entirety of the first game. For example, I imagine we'll get a standalone, a similar episode exploring Ellie before Joel and Tess, before she got bit, leading up to when she got bit. But that, you know, will add to Ellie's motivations and whatnot. So that wouldn't really be a standalone. You know, I should probably have more faith because they did develop this amazing love story over the course of one episode. So if these talents are applied to future episodes, I'm worrying for nothing. I mean, we will fall in love with Joel and Ellie in their relationship the way that I hope we do and want us to. I mean, yeah. There's that line in this episode, I was never afraid until you came along, which, you know, it just reminds me of Andor when Marva tells Cassian, where she defines love as what makes you worry all the time. It's the same thing here, because that is love. I mean, this episode is love manifested, you know. And of course, the themes in this episode enhance Joel and Ellie's journey, because Bill is a surrogate for Joel, as they're both people whose mission in life is to protect their companions. And Bill's letter does hammer home Joel's guilt about Tess. I mean, that was devastating. And then Joel goes outside and you think he's going to cry. Pedro Pascal has this tortured look on his face, and then he just takes a deep breath and crumples the letter. And he's probably more determined than ever to protect Ellie. Than ever, I mean, we've seen so far. Not to mention when Frank's suffering from, I guess, what would be ALS, and he asked Bill to kill him. That decision, their end, going to contrast with probably. There's also something I typed, or copy and pasted, because I thought it was pretty fascinating. In the game, Bill basically sends the opposite message to Joel, right? He says it to direct him directly, because Bill doesn't die in the game. It was once upon a time I had someone that I cared about. It was a partner, somebody I had to look after. And in this world, that sort of shit's good for one thing: getting you killed. You know what I did? I wisened the fuck up and realized it's got to be just me out there. And the last thing that Bill says to Joel via a letter in this show is, I used to hate the world, and I was happy when everyone died. But I was wrong, because there was one person worth saving. And if that doesn't feel like a response to the first quote, I mean, it does. And it really makes this episode even more powerful if you think about it as a companion piece. But I don't know, is this show a companion piece? I don't know. Regardless, this episode was beautifully written, directed, Emmys all around. I just wish I would have seen it without all of my Last of Us expectations and preoccupations. But yeah, my gripes aren't definitely not the end of the world. I just really felt the need to explain what I was thinking and feeling while I was watching this. Definitely a byproduct of thinking about the game way too much. So yeah, if anything, I hope this was entertaining. I hope it provokes some discourse, civil discourse. Feel free to dislike this video. Feel free to rage on me in the comments. Yeah, that's all I have. Big love to everyone who was bored enough to join me. Let me know those thoughts in the comments. Drive me off this platform if you must. Otherwise, like, subscribe, drink water, stay young. And remember, don't be an idiot. Be a buffoon.